like to go places where people respect the gym. And I know that we've had this conversation too offline about how, you know, even you own a private gym and you still have to police people to put their weights back and to make sure that they're, and that's crazy to me. And you pay a bunch of money to go to a place like Equinox or to go to a private gym. I know yours is definitely more affordable, and it's a terrific place to go.
Thank you.
But it's like, how do you do that? Like, I go to a crappy gym that is at a very, very low price point, and I'm expecting it to be a dump, and it is. But if I'm paying a lot of money, it better be clean, and it better be well cared for.
Yeah,
so
you get what you pay for. But at the end of the day, I mean, you can, like, does it really matter? Like, if it has got a barbell and some dumbbells and you got what you need, like, fine. Like, when I'm traveling, you know, a lot of times I don't like working out at the hotel gym. I mean, I'll like to find something that's local, and I like to go in and kind of, it's like, for me, it's like going on a vacation. Like, I go into a new gym, it's like experiencing new equipment, and seeing things that you may not have access to, and being around different people. And I'm always a critic. I'm always kind of in my head, like, assessing the front desk and assessing the coaches when they're on the floor and their posture and how they're communicating with clients and whether they're checking texts or they're actually checking for the program on the phone. And there's all these little things that I honestly, I can go through and I can tell you what clubs I think are great and what clubs I think are absolutely terrible. But, you know,
go ahead, you can tell me.
No, it's just not even that important. Like, I don't want to, like, it's one of those things where you've got to get what you want to get out of the gym. Does that make sense? It's just like what are you going there for? If you're going there to socialize and you're going there to look at hot people, then fine. Like, that's what you're going there to do, and that's what's important to you. Me, like, some of the best workouts that I've ever had have been in a dungeon that's, you know, 20 feet like beneath the earth, and there's no windows, and it's just me and my training partner, and I love that. But for me, that's what I need less fluff. When I get around fluff, personality-wise, I get really annoyed.
Me too.
Because when I see fluff, I see that people are doing things incorrectly. When I see people are running around and their concern is how fast they can perform something or how fast they can get through that circuit, quality diminishes. Injuries definitely start becoming exposed, because in time you hear about it all the time. And you know, people, I started, I feel great, but 6 months later my shoulder started to me, my back started to me. Like, these are things that training should make you feel better, move better, look better. It shouldn't be where, like, oh, I've lost weight, but my shoulder is like, you know, unless you're powerlifting or unless you're doing something very, when I say sport specific, I mean like you're training for sport. Like, you're a hockey player. Like, you got screwed up hips, I understand it. You're a golfer. You've got, you know, 40 more degrees rotation on one side to the other side of the body, like that, you have to have that.
Right.
And there's a cost to doing business. Something's going to come with that.
Yeah.
A power lifter, you have to move as much weight as possible. And guess what? Injuries might occur. Louis Simmons, you know, one of the biggest West Side guys, he has like 70 surgeries. This guy's a disaster. But general population, people in the city, they shouldn't be doing it.
Well, I mean, the goal, I don't know, it doesn't seem like the goal to move as much weight as possible every time you step into a gym is...
It's not many people's focus.
No.
But I also think, like, you've gotten under heavyweight before. Like, you understand what it is, and you understand how the body feels after moving heavier weight. People are scared of moving heavier weight because everyone's like, oh, I don't want to put size on. I'm like, dude, don't flatter yourself, bro. Like, if you think you're gonna put size on that easily,
no.
You know, that's like saying that you're gonna go out and pick out the hottest girl in the club, or you're gonna make, you know, $100 million next year, or like you're like, I'm great at this. Like, that's when people say that to me. That's almost the thought process. Like, you don't understand how hard it is to put muscle on.
No, it takes work. A lot of work. I mean, especially naturally.
And time.
Yeah. Time, work, consistency, planning. Just, you have to be diligent. And it's a lot of adjustments. It's a lot of trial and error.
Right.
And yeah, I don't think and I think what happens is, specifically with younger people, is they don't have the patience and they don't see a result right away. So they are prone to look for a shortcut, or they think they're doing it wrong. So it's like, oh, well, I clearly just need to take whatever. So, you know, I get it in one sense, but at the same time, as we talk about, it's all goals, man.
Yeah.
Like, at the, you know, if your goal is to move as much weight, if your goal is to move a mountain, then yeah, keep moving heavy weight. At the same time, I want to bend down and be able to pick up my daughter or play with my daughter and like not have my back hurt. That to me is a win right now. So
totally agree. But on the other hand, I mean, it's if you're a female or a male that can't get off the couch and then suddenly you're going into Barry's boot camp 3 days a week and you're training there and you feel great, then awesome. That's why I'm saying I'm not here to bash. I'm not here to bash different group training methodologies. I'm not here to bash different training systems. I know what works and what doesn't work, and I know for someone to get to an elite level or get to a specific, but not everyone wants that. But if you look at every physique on the planet, every person, male or female, and you look at where they got to, it's not a fluffy type of training. I mean, very, very, sometimes you get those genetic freaks, but I put less on genetics. I mean, these people that I see that are on covers, every one of them, they're not genetic freaks. They work hard. Yeah. They work hard. How much does genetics have to do with it? I don't know. Because I don't know how long you've been training seriously. Right. Yeah, I had a guy in a client of mine recently, a celeb, he's like, oh, this is really hard. I'm like, yeah, you're right, it's hard. I'm like, how long have you been doing this? He's like, a year. I'm like, a year? Are you serious? I've been doing this for 20, 25 years. 1 year? Your training age is nothing. Like you need time. People aren't patient.
It's that would come up a lot when I think it was like Mark McGwire or Barry Bonds, and they'd be like, well, they're on steroids, so they can. It's like, well, they still got to hit the ball. Yeah. They still have to develop They still have to develop the skill to hit the ball.
You still got to hit a round ball, a round bat coming at you at 60 feet 6 inches at 98 miles an hour.
Right. So
but what Canseco did say in his book, I read his book, which is really juicy, by the way.
Really?
Oh, he was like, I love fast cars and fast women, and he got pulled over doing 200 miles an hour in a white Testarossa.
He can construct a sentence?
He's unbelievable. Wow. He's like, he did 200 miles an hour in a white Testarossa. He got pulled over. Jeez. I think he had a gun in the front seat. 200 miles an hour in a white Testarossa, like a chick. I think it was something like that. But he even said, he goes, you know what steroids did do? Like he said, I won't argue that, but what it did do is it gave me a level of confidence. So as someone that can already hit the baseball, when you're giving him, a mountain load of, is that such a word? Mountain load?
Sure.
Mountain load?
Mount load or mound load?
Mountain.
Mountain load.
Mountain worth.
I think mountain worth is definitely not a word. Boatload, shitload, ton, shit ton.
I don't want to curse.
Boatload?
A boatload.
Megaton.
It gives him a boatload worth of, that doesn't make sense either. A boatload of confidence.
It gave him much confidence?
A shit ton of confidence.
There we go.
Even better. That's cleaner too.